Well, let me tell you guys something. Shit is going on every day. It's not going to stop. If anything, it's going to get a little worse. It could get better. I mean, I don't really know. All I know is the things I'm hearing about the country and shit just have me, really happy that I have a sense of who I am. You see, you have the entire freeway to drive on. But if you want to drive safely, you got to stay in your motherfucking lane. You got to choose a lane and stay in it. Now, I'm not saying if you're going 100 miles, you got to drive in one lane. I'm just saying you have to choose a lane if you decide to change lanes for whatever reason. You can't just change. You got to make sure it's the safe thing to do. As I think about, what I've learned uh, from some of my experiences this past year, I've realized a few things. One thing I already knew, but I have realized it again. I need you motherfuckers to call in. I need you to call in, holler at me with a situation you got going on or you want to know about so we can kick it. I like that kind of video way more than I do when I'm just talking. But anyway, like I said, I've realized a few things. And one of the things I realized is that it only takes one heart to keep you alive. But it takes at least two hearts for any one motherfucker to really live. And you need to understand that. You need to understand that and you need to accept that. Now, when you're a young motherfucker and you're living fancy free, I mean, having someone that knows and understands you don't even hold a candle to as much, candlelight as much as it will when you get older. See, I realized that this year, and I also realized this year, you motherfuckers that's been listening to me teeter tottering on what you gonna do, you motherfuckers will actually have a more fruitful life if you pay attention. Otherwise, you've been hearing me for a while, I'm sure, but you ain't really did shit. About it to change yourself. So, if you are really in the position to make changes, you want to realize a lot of fucking shit that's going on around you. You have to take chances. You got to have people around you that believes in taking chances to make or gain success. My woman and my daughter know there will be no success if we don't take a chance to earn it. Now, another thing I realized is how afraid most of you are to think. Thinking is, it really could be something that you could be afraid of. That's if you don't, control your thoughts. If you let your thoughts control you, then maybe maybe you are afraid to think. But the average American, the average one of you guys, will let somebody that they don't know that they have never met, they have never heard of this person, but they'll let this person explain something to them that could change their lives. I mean, the problem with that is too many people today will take that kind of information and use it against you in some way. Well, at least that's how I see it. See, I'm starting this coming year out. I'm starting it out recognizing the path I have blazed for myself. I could say I'm recognizing it now, but I'm going to complete what I've been doing for this year and starting next year. I am seriously I'm gonna just identify myself with my path. Now this path is only for me. But the way to get to it, the way to get to a path is for everybody or anybody who puts the effort in finding their individual path. Your path, my path is not your path. My path is just what it says, my path. And I found mine. And this year, if you haven't already done it, you should find your path. There is no question a man like me can't handle. Any and everything on your mind will be honestly addressed. Because real talk with Rosebud is where it's at. Now, people don't really understand that in this country, racism has never left. But this country lied about it to everyone world over, but mostly to itself. This country pretends to be, progressive or whatever the correct word is. I don't mean progressive politically. I'm talking about progressive because they accept different things, new things. They're not rigid, when it comes to social issues. Homosexuality, racism, sexism, any other phobias that people in this country experiences because we all accept the lies that we tell ourselves. Have you ever thought of why a gay person would be racist? Well, I'm going to tell you something. My experience, not everyone, but my experience, gay motherfuckers are some of the most racist people I've ever seen. They lie to themselves, trying to stand with minorities. And that minority shit played well for them. They got political access and everything, all the way up until Barack was elected. Now, what does Barack have to do with gays? He don't have nothing to do with gays. He just was the motherfucker that fronted them motherfucking gay motherfuckers off. Not only gays, but since I'm talking about gays, they fronted a lot. He fronted a lot of minorities off. But you'll feel it if you don't. Just like I'm feeling it. Just live long enough to compare today with yesterday. The comparison you make now are petty and about PS1 or Xbox or whatever the new shit is for you to play. Have you ever thought that you lived long enough to see real changes in the world? I'm telling you, when Barack was elected, see, the buck stopped. Otherwise, all that faking, we know minorities should be able to do this, minorities should be equal, blah, 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 minorities this, minorities that. And as long as you had to have programs for that shit when you was a minority, you was cool. But what I'm saying, now Barack didn't have nothing to do with none of this except he was black. So what I'm saying is once he was elected, that meant people all over this country thought a black person was qualified to lead them, which we are. But what also happened was all the goddamn white people that was talking that shit. As far as it's okay for the schools to have a minority program or whatever the fuck. What I'm saying is, goddamn it, once he was in, gay motherfuckers felt that some gay motherfucker should have been elected. They didn't protest, they didn't make it known, but deep down inside, that's how they felt. That's why the majority of the opinion after Barack was in there was that he wasn't doing shit. At least that's what they were saying. But they re-elected him. My point is once he got in, see, white people had something to accept. We're either really headed toward this equal or equality that we talked about that we're for, or we better stop this shit because these motherfuckers are going too far. Next, they're going to be trying to run the country. Yeah, that's how the fuck they think. Now, I'm not mad. At one time, we couldn't vote. I heard of it, but I damn so didn't experience it. My parents did. And getting that right was a big thing to them. Now, have you thought about what we are fucking accepting now? Now, we in 2024. 2024. And some of you guys out there may not be old enough, but a lot of you are. You motherfuckers was in full lockdown mode New Year's 2000. Why was that? You all believed the computers were going to crash and shit was going to go haywire. Banking industry and all kind of things that depended on computers was going to go crazy. Why? Because the programming in the computers at that point was for the, I guess, for the 1000s, I guess, because they were saying when in 1999, they were saying in the 2000, the computer's going to crash, it's going to be fucked up. Now, here we are in 2024. What the fuck do you think 20 years from now you're going to be dealing with? I pity the motherfucker who don't think ahead. Southwark University is waiting for your ass to wake up and come here so you can get the tools, the physical tools, and you could also get the mental tools that will allow you to live in the future. But you can find this information out or develop it for yourself now. I mean, I love this shit I do because it's like the confessions of an older man, if you really want to look at it. I'm only telling you what I know is a fact. It took me this long to admit this to you guys, but it took this long for 72 years to go by. I'm talking from experience. People make mistakes that can charge you. I'm saying if you deal with somebody and you're listening to them for whatever reason, and these motherfuckers don't know the fuck they talking about, you ain't gonna know till you try the shit. And then you're gonna charge yourself. I shot myself in the foot trying to control how you wanted to fuck with me. See, I killed the individual cell of my course, and because I knew I was going to another fucking phase of what I'm doing. But I mean, I did it too early, or I didn't do it correctly because it had damn near rendered me crippled. You know, I need income at all times. I don't need income sometimes. That's why I don't change what I'm talking about. You listen to me 10 years from now, I'm gonna be talking about the same shit. Because it don't end, it don't stop. Period. This game, this life, the way we live, the way you want to live, don't stop. So if you're inclined to be curious, especially about my course, you could hit me with 500. And you could get the course only. And it will be the full course. Let me ask you something. Do you realize the effort I put in to lacing those of you who actually want to be laced? I mean, the course is back available to you in parts or in its entirety. I have those damn tool sales, different ways to, treat your woman to an inexpensive, fabulous night out. All kinds of ways to enhance what you offer your women. Be it to you learning how to implement, your will, or learning how to think about what she does or say. I mean, you'll get it at SWU. So you need to jump on these things I'm talking about. The tool deals, any four conversation tools, 110. And any four mentality tools, 130. The conversation tools, you saving over damn near 300. And the mentality tools, you're saving even more than that. I'm more than halfway through the year, and I'm seeing a difference in Sidewalk University. Sure, the returning students are doing, what they know to do, and that's represent what they learned. Don't ask so many goddamn questions. And the new students are raring to go. The thing about me right now, I'm stoked about what I'm witnessing. All I got to say is go get us. I'm not tripping because SWU is blowing up. I'm not tripping. Shit is looking good for 2025. It's looking up for the person who sets a goal, chases after it, and after successfully reaching that goal, continuing the growth to become even better. Have you realized how blessed you are? Oh shit. Oh, I got my number up. I ain't got nothing there. Call. And I'm curious about that. You guys don't want to know shit, or you just think you already know every goddamn thing. You might do. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you have to be continuing the growth so that you can become better. Have you really realized how blessed you are? I know I have. I don't mean when somebody asks you how you doing, you respond blessed. I'm talking about whatever you thought to do last night, you can do it today. Being able to do things should be a major motivator for you. I know it is for me because I also know how many people procrastinate. I don't want to be a procrastinator, and I hope you don't want to be a procrastinator. be a producer and get busy producing the rest of your life. In 2016, one of my resolutions was to quit begging you guys to stand up. I've been going hard ever since, and I'm gonna go harder this year. I am not pandering to your weak thoughts. I'm gonna stay strict to what I threat, and that's it. You don't have questions, I ain't talking. And at the same time, I'm gonna I'm gonna be saying and explaining to you why you shouldn't ask most of the questions that come to you. I know that's an oxymoron. I'm gonna be telling you not to ask questions, but I'm gonna explain, the value in asking questions. I say shit because I mean it. And if you listen to my past shows, you'll hear me prove to the motherfucking people who ask questions how and why they really shouldn't have to ask it. It's a little known fact, but I'm gonna lace you with it right now. It's a little known fact about asking questions. Rarely, if ever, will you be able to formulate a question that does not have an answer already available to you. Subconsciously, you can't form a question unless you have an answer. I learned that studying my bachelor's in psychology. The road to the top is paved with methods that are available to you, but the key is to pick yours and don't get distracted. Because it may take you a few years to get where you're trying to go. And you guys want to do shit right now. You know, I get dudes talking about their lady experiences, in this life, and they crack me up. Dudes don't even know, you know, what what the choosing fee is. They don't know what it's all about. I have dudes that ain't got nothing to do with hoes call me and tell me they was in the club, whoop, 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 and the dog chose him. Now he's talking to a nigga that know what choosing is. See, that's why my book Rosebud the American Pimp is so dope. It explains shit properly. Check this move that I made on the bitch who wanted to get with me and didn't have no money. I brought her to my crib after getting at her. And I knew she wanted to get with me. So I went into the bathroom, purposely leaving $40 on the table in front of her, just to check to see if she could be trusted. Not only did not only she didn't take the money, she moved it from in front of her. Pleased at what I saw, I came back down and rolled the joint. I had a large glass wet bar stocked. Then I pointed over to the baby, go fix me a drink. And before she got up, I said, you are going to get with me tonight, aren't you? She didn't answer, but she got up and headed towards the bar. Hold on. You don't have to get with me, but you do have to be my hoe or a bartender I can trust to make my drinks. I gotta take safety precautions, you know what I'm saying? I was ready to have baby. Then I said, but I no the bitch said, but I don't have any money. I didn't want to miss this on the technicality. So I shot at her. Listen, baby, I don't want to start off on the wrong foot. But I do want to have your little finance. So what would you think of me accepting your ass now without no money? I waited for a response. As she was thinking, trying to come up with one, I continued. Seeing as though, most hoes and pimps think That's how it go. I said that searching a little my damn self. Well, I wouldn't think less of you unless you fucked me. Other than that, I just go get you some money tomorrow or whenever you put me down. That's the way she answered. Shit, I liked that. That bitch was sharp. And I was ready to have her. I said, "You want to get with me?" I asked her again. And the bitch said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Pour me a shot of D. Main cognac. You'll see it over there on the bar." For me, the bitch had said the right things to let me know she wasn't full of shit, which is one of the reasons you have a choosing fee. A motherfucker can't afford to have a motherfucking broad playing with his goddamn, you know, game. If he want a clean reputation. So, for the purpose of protecting his pimping image, if that's what he's doing, and to make sure she's worth fucking with, he demands a choosing fee. The one reason I knew I was gonna get paid from the baby was I was sending her immediately. And another reason, I could tell she wasn't bullshit. So I accepted her without any money. But before 24 hours had passed, I had checked 800 from baby, and she was still down. She was down and dirty from the get go. You see, this Dabble provides ways for you to overcome the most serious of obstacles. Just about any obstacle that's in your life. See, obstacles are made to be overcame. And if you play by the rules of whatever you're doing, there is no obstacle in the world you can't overcome. Choosing fees vary and have different values for different individuals. But for me, in this case, the money came after I knocked her off. Long as I didn't fucking her goddamn pussy before I got paid a few weeks, I was in order. Which is what it's all about. Keeping order in your life. I think it's great how many or how my last year's problems became obsolete the closer it came to year's end. I think that's what it's all about when you're making progress. Taking care of shit that's in front of you. I mean, that seems simple, but it's not. I guess with the way my New Year started, you could say taking care of shit in front of me so it can make room for new shit. But again, with progress, life does not end. You only dealt with the problems for the level of life you was on, which in turn allowed you to graduate to another level with its own set of problems. There's infinite levels that's in our lives, and each one you reach only prepares you for the next level you'll be faced with. Now, in the near future, you need to understand just usually the year gets started a little, and then as it goes on, shit begin to happen. Good and bad. I'm happy though. Things are bound to happen when you are pressed for time. I started back on my book, Single Mother, He's Your Son, Part 2. And besides the manuscript looking great, I realized some things that I need to be on top of when I order the next batch. See, when you go from a Word document to PDF, the font is slightly larger. And it could cause you some problems with your format. I noticed a few spots in the book where the sentence would continue, but it would drop down to the next line, maybe halfway through. The text is correct, and the and the sentence is complete. But I don't like how that shit looks. Another thing is they didn't make my logo in color last time, which now that I think of it, was my fault. Otherwise, I'm in charge of everything and better check and recheck shit before it leaves my desk. Okay? Lesson learned, no big deal. But my book is flying right now. I really just like shit perfect. Single Mother, He's Your Son has been a good seller, but part two will be bigger because of the information that I learned after I wrote that book. Even a motherfucker like me can make a mistake. In my rush to uh, boast about Sidewalk University, I put the cart before the horse. That's what I'm saying. I can't. I'd stab myself in the foot. I do need to contemplate a couple more things before I start all my new goddamn shit. Uh, I'm really starting to be concerned. Well, yeah, I got some listeners. Uh, and none of you actually have anything to ask. Wow. I'm sure you're gonna get the message that I'm sending. See, a lot of people don't realize there's a science to the shit I'm talking. H2O is water. CO2 is carbon monoxide. Those combination of ingredients to make a certain, those are combination of ingredients that's going to make a certain outcome predictable. H is hydrogen and O is oxygen. You take 1 part hydrogen and 2 parts oxygen and you get water. Same with carbon monoxide. Understand the mixture of ingredients and you'll get carbon monoxide. Abadabba, this game is 1 part of what you've learned about life, knowledge. Another part is what you do with that knowledge that you've learned about life. And that's called wisdom. Then there's understanding. Understanding is the way you let people know what the fuck you know, according to how you understand what to do with what you know. You put them together, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you'll have this abadabba. Now, once you figure out how to combine the 3 ingredients of this game, you'll be a monster. Another reason I knew I was fly and destined to be who I am was when I was born. And the doctor slapped my ass. I said, "Bitch, where's my money?" Still, another of the reasons I knew I was a fly ass monster is because I dreamed about how to catch women. And when I talked in my sleep, I was getting that abroad. It just didn't stop. You really know you fly. You really know you are a fly motherfucker when you fire, bro. And while you driving down the street looking in the rear view mirror at your, fly ass, your phone rings and it's the bitch you fired. "Daddy, please don't fire me. I promise I'll get it right for you." And after she had said that shit in every way she can, and you have rejected her, you have to be on your, on your toes because you got to pay attention to her voice. Because at one point she gonna say, "Okay, fuck you." So you want to take her right up to that point because you don't want to lose no hoe. You just training her. So you take a deep breath and say, "Ho, are you saying you gonna pay me the way I want to be paid?" "Yes, Daddy, I swear." Then you take another look in the rearview mirror and say, "Bitch, it's against my better pimp judgment, but I'm gonna give you another chance." Then that hoe start creaming. It says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, Daddy, and you won't regret it." Now the cold part about this, what I just say is, This Dabble provided me with a way to beat the shit out of that motherfucking hoe without laying a hand on her. As I'm creaming on the move I made, I haven't taken my eyes off the rear view mirror. The thing is, when a motherfucker, is being the kind of man he wanna be, he just gotta see himself doing it. Do it, man. Do it. If you will ever, no, actually, you will never reach the level of mastery of this Dabble until you stop being afraid to grow in this shit. No, only grow. You need to grow the way growth has been prescribed over the centuries. This next level, then the next. And you can only do any of that if you believe in yourself. Because if you don't, you won't even believe, or actually, you won't even get to think of this stuff to believe it. Believing in yourself is very important. It's something each one of us must do. And you cannot do it procrastinating about what you're going to do. You can only do shit if you think it and do it. All right, I'm gone. Hey, look, you guys, I hate this shit when you don't motherfucking ask no questions. But you know what I'm saying? All right, be cool. I'm gone.